All right, ready to dive in. Today we're looking at the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G.
Okay.
We've got this in-depth review from TechWise Corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's dated January 18th, 2025.
Right.
So pretty recent.
Yeah.
And we're going to break it all down and figure out if this phone is the real deal,
Cool.
for people trying to decide if it's worth the money.
Yeah, it seems like this phone's kind of in that sweet spot,
Yeah.
between the budget phones and the really expensive flagships.
Okay.
Trying to, give you the best of both worlds.
I like that. Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one thing that jumped out at me in the review was this display.
Oh, yeah.
6.5 inches.
Yeah.
Super AMOLED, 120 hertz refresh rate.
Wow.
That's got to be so smooth.
Yeah.
But for someone who's not, a tech expert,
Right.
what's the big deal about that refresh rate?
Well, it's all about how it feels when you're scrolling. Like
Okay.
when you're on social media or browsing websites,
Yeah.
even just switching between apps, 120 hertz means the image refreshes 120 times every second.
Wow.
So everything looks really smooth and responsive. It's one of those things you gotta see to believe.
Okay, so I'm adding that to my list of things to check out in person.
Definitely.
But a good display needs a good build, right?
Oh, absolutely.
To
yeah.
protect it.
For sure.
What's the A53 5G got?
It's got an IP67 rating.
Okay, IP67.
Yeah.
What does that mean for, everyday use?
So imagine you get caught in the rain.
Oh,
Or you drop your phone in the sink.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, right.
It's like my biggest fear.
But with an IP67 rating,
Yeah.
you're good.
Okay.
It means it's totally protected from dust.
Okay.
And it can handle being underwater for 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, up to a meter.
That's impressive.
Right. No need to panic.
Okay, that's peace of mind right there.
Exactly.
All right, so the phone looks good,
Mm-hmm.
but can it handle, life?
Yeah.
What about the performance?
So it's got the Exynos 1280 processor and 6 gigabytes of RAM.
Okay.
It's a good combo for everyday things.
Like what?
Like email browsing,
Yeah.
even some casual gaming.
Okay.
Think of it as a reliable car. Gets you where you need to go.
All right, so maybe not a sports car,
Maybe not.
but a good solid sedan.
Right.
I could work with that.
Yeah.
But wait, the review also mentions 1 TB of storage.
Oh, yeah.
Is that like a typo?
No.
Okay.
So you get 128 gigabyte built in,
Okay.
but you can add a micro SD card
Oh, yeah.
and expand it up to 1 TB.
Wow, that's a lot.
Right. Like a whole digital library.
Photos, videos, all that.
Yeah. Tons of apps.
That's perfect because I never delete anything.
I feel that.
Okay, speaking of photos, let's talk about the camera.
Okay.
4 lenses, that's a lot.
It
What
is.
do we have here?
So you've got a 64 MP main camera
Okay.
for those super detailed shots.
Okay, cool.
And then for landscapes or big group photos,
Yeah.
there's a 12 MP ultra wide lens.
Nice. What else?
So for the artsy types,
Yeah.
there's a dedicated macro lens for close-ups or
Okay.
a depth sensor
Okay.
for those professional-looking portraits with the blurry background.
Ooh, fancy.
Right.
And of course, we can't forget the selfie camera.
Oh, of course not.
What's that like?
32 MP.
Wow, they really went all out on the camera.
They did.
Now, for me, battery life is a deal breaker.
Yeah,
I've had phones die on me at the worst times.
Ugh, the worst.
So what's the A53 5G packing?
It's got a 5,000 mAh battery.
Okay, and is that good?
It's really good.
Like, how long will that last?
It should easily last you through a whole day,
Even with heavy use?
even with heavy use.
Okay, that's a relief.
Yeah.
And when you do need to charge it, how long does it take?
It supports 25W fast charging,
Okay.
so you can get a good amount of charge back pretty quickly.
So not like hours and hours.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So fast charging?
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk software.
Sorry, running the show here.
The A53 5G runs on One UI 4.1,
Okay.
which is Samsung's version of Android 12.
Okay, and is that easy to use?
It is. It's known for being very clean and user-friendly.
Okay, so even someone who's not, a techie can figure it out.
Absolutely, but here's the really cool part.
Okay.
Samsung is promising 4 years of software updates
Wow.
and 5 years of security patches.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's a lot longer than most phones get.
It is. Most companies only offer 2 or 3 years.
So this is, a big deal.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your phone stays up to date with the latest features.
Okay.
And more importantly, it stays secure
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
for much longer, which is great for the value of your phone.
It's like they're saying they're in it for the long haul with you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we got to talk about 5G.
Of course.
Is this phone future-proofed?
Yes, it is.
So I can use it on the 5G network.
Okay, and what did that mean for me?
Well, you get those super fast download and upload speeds as 5G networks continue to roll out.
So I won't be left behind when everyone else is on 5G.
Exactly. You'll be ready.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It sounds like this phone ticks a lot of boxes,
It does.
but we have to be fair.
Right.
And talk about the downsides, too.
Of course.
What are some things that might make people hesitate?
Well, one thing to think about is the processor.
Okay.
The Exynos 1280 is capable,
Yeah.
but it's not as powerful as some Snapdragon chips.
Okay, and for someone who's not a tech expert,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Well, if you're a big mobile gamer,
Okay.
especially if you play games with really intense graphics,
Like what?
like Genshin Impact
Sure.
or Call of Duty mobile,
Yeah.
you might see some lag or frame drops.
Okay.
The A53 5G will still run those games,
Yeah.
but maybe not at the highest settings.
Okay.
And it might not be as smooth.
So for someone who's not a serious gamer,
Right.
will they notice any performance issues?
For everyday stuff like social media,
Yeah.
web browsing, streaming videos,
Yeah.
you'll probably be fine.
Okay.
The phone will feel smooth and responsive.
So it's really just those demanding games
Yeah.
and apps that might be a problem?
Right.
Okay, good to know.
Mm.
Not a deal breaker for everyone,
No.
but definitely something to think about.
Right. It depends how you use your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else did that TechWise Corner review mention?
One thing they pointed out was the lack of a charger in the box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you don't get a charger with the phone.
You don't.
Is that becoming common now?
It is, yeah.
Why is that?
They say it's for environmental reasons.
Okay, so less waste. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it kind of inconvenient for people?
Well, yeah.
Especially if you don't already have a charger.
Right. If you don't have one that's compatible.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely a trade-off.
Between being eco-friendly and being convenient.
Exactly.
It's something to think about.
It is.
Okay, what about the design of the phone?
Okay.
Any downsides there?
Well, they mentioned that the back of the phone is made of polycarbonate.
Polycarbonate, is that like...
Basically, it's plastic.
Oh.
It's got a nice matte finish,
Okay,
resists fingerprints,
that's good.
but it doesn't have that premium feel.
You mean like glass or metal?
Exactly.
Right.
So it's more about personal preference.
If you care about that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, some people might not mind,
Right.
especially since it keeps the phone lighter.
That's true.
All right, let's move on to the camera.
Okay.
We talk about all those lenses,
Yeah, all the features.
but the review mentioned one problem area,
Oh, yeah. What's that?
low light performance. Apparently, the camera struggles a bit in low light.
Even with night mode.
Yeah, even with night mode,
There's just
photos can lose detail and there's more noise.
So not ideal for night owls.
Yeah, or people who take a lot of pictures indoors.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
It could be a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, if low light is really important to you,
Right.
you might want to look at a different phone.
One with a more advanced camera.
Yeah, one that's better in low light.
Okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
What about wireless charging?
Unfortunately, it doesn't have wireless charging.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty standard these days.
It's getting there, but
They decided to skip it on this one.
yeah,
That's a bummer. I really like wireless charging.
it is convenient.
But I guess some people don't care.
Yeah, if they're used to plugging it in.
True. True.
No. Mm-hmm.
Anything else that stood out in the review?
They talked about the audio quality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it has stereo speakers,
Okay.
which is good.
But they're not that great.
Apparently, they lack bass and depth.
So not for audiophiles.
Probably not.
Or people who blast music on their phone speakers.
Right, you'd probably want headphones for that.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we have
Good and the bad.
the pros and cons.
Exactly.
It's a really interesting phone.
It is.
A lot to offer.
But also some compromises.
Yeah, I mean, every phone has its strengths and weaknesses.
Right, no phone is perfect.
Exactly.
That's why we do this,
Yeah.
to help people figure out what's important to them.
Right, so they can make the best decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who do you think this phone is perfect for?
Well, I think the A53 5G is a great option for people who want a great display,
Okay.
long battery life,
Mm-hmm.
and the peace of mind of long-term software support.
Yeah.
If you watch a lot of movies on your phone
Okay.
or browse social media,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Spend a lot of time online.
Yeah, you'll love that 120 hertz AMOLED screen.
It seems like that's a big selling point.
It is.
What else?
Well, that 5,000 milliamp battery is great for people who are always on the go.
Okay.
Don't have to worry about your phone dying.
That's a huge plus for me.
Yeah, I get it.
And the long software support is great too.
Yeah. It is. It shows commitment from Samsung.
They're not just going to abandon you after a year or two.
Exactly.
So who should maybe avoid this phone?
Well, like we said, serious mobile gamers might want to look elsewhere.
Because of the processor.
Yeah, the Exynos 1280 is decent.
But not for those demanding games.
Right. It might not be enough.
Okay, and what about people who want a really premium-looking phone?
Yeah, if that's important to you,
Yeah.
the A53 5G might not be the best choice.
Because of the plastic back?
Yeah, the polycarbonate.
It's durable, but...
It doesn't feel as fancy.
Right.
It's a trade-off.
Okay, what about photography enthusiasts?
Well, the camera system is very versatile.
Yeah, we talked about that.
But it's not the best in low light.
Right.
So if you take a lot of pictures at night or indoors, you might be disappointed.
Okay, so it's really about knowing what's important to you.
Exactly.
And choosing the right phone for your needs.
Right. No phone is perfect for everyone.
So true.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget about the wireless charging situation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No wireless charging on this one.
Nope.
It's kind of a bummer, I gotta say.
Yeah, it is a nice feature to have.
It's so convenient.
I agree.
But hey, maybe it's not a deal breaker for everyone.
True. Some people don't mind plugging in.
Right. Old habits die hard.
Exactly.
Okay. So overall, it sounds like the A53 5G.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good phone.
It is.
Solid features, decent performance.
Yeah, for the price.
But not without its quirks.
Right. No phone is perfect.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to do your research.
Absolutely.
Figure out what matters most to you.
Yeah. What are your priorities?
Right. Like if you're a hardcore gamer, this might not be the best choice.
Probably not.
But if you want a beautiful screen,
Yeah.
long battery life,
and you're not too worried about having the absolute latest and greatest processor,
then the A53 5G could be a real contender.
definitely.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listener to remember about the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G?
I think the key takeaway is balance, you know?
Okay, I like that.
It's a balanced phone.
In what way?
Well, it's got a nice design,
Yeah.
but it's also durable. The display is amazing.
Definitely.
And the battery lasts a long time.
Yeah, we talked about that.
The camera is versatile.
4 lenses, can't forget those.
Right. And the software is easy to use.
It's all about finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. Not going overboard in any one area.
But delivering a solid all-around experience.
That's the A53 5G in a nutshell.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Now, before we say goodbye,
Okay.
I want to leave our listener with something to think about.
All right.
Imagine yourself holding this phone.
Yeah.
You're looking at pictures on that gorgeous display. And you know you have a phone that's going to last.
Yeah.
Does that feel right to you?
Good question.
Does the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G feel like the right fit for your digital life?
That's for you to decide.
Exactly. We've given you the information.
All the details.
Now it's up to you.
Make the choice that's right for you.
Well said.
Thanks.
It's been great exploring this phone with you.
Likewise.
And a huge thank you to our listener for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
We'll see you next time for another exciting adventure in the world of tech.
Sounds good.
And yeah, we can't forget about the wireless charging thing.
Right. That's a bit of a bummer.
It's becoming so common now.
It is. It's a shame they left it out.
But I guess it all comes down to priorities, right?
Exactly. You gotta weigh the pros and cons.
For sure. So overall,
Yeah.
what's your final verdict on the A53 5G?
You know, I think it's a really solid phone,
Okay.
especially for the price.
Yeah, that's always a factor.
It is, and this one seems to hit a good balance.
Right. It's not trying to be the most powerful phone out there
Exactly.
or the most luxurious.
But it offers a lot of great features.
Yeah, it seems like a good all-arounder.
Definitely a good choice for a lot of people.
All right, well, that about wraps it up for our deep dive into the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G.
It's been fun.
Yeah, always interesting to see what Samsung is up to.
They always come up with something new.
They do. And thanks to our listeners for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for listening.
We hope you found this helpful
We'll catch you next time.
for another deep dive into the world of tech.